So here we are at the consulate. Well, the consulate's over there in the background, you can see the Spanish flag. And while we're here in London, I just thought I'd take the opportunity to do a couple of videos for the YouTube channel. Yay! Why everything's fresh in my head as well. I've come away with plenty of notes on how we're going to improve our service and how we can help people. But just one big thing which really came up, which I wanted to just get off my chest and get into a video quickly, was the timing of the visas. Now I'm talking about London here specifically. Now we spoke yesterday at length about what was the problem in summer, and the problem was, as we suspected and as we knew, was the student visas. Okay, they had to process nearly 5,500 student visas here. 5,500. This is why there was no communication for people looking for, switching hands there, for non-lucrative visas. Yeah, so they took a back seat during the student visa avalanche. Now, this evidently is going to happen next year as well. The consulate have put in place a appointment booking system, which is better than the old system, okay, which is just email your appointment, you turn up, so now you get to choose your date. But and hopefully this is going to help them to stem the flow of the visas coming in if people get their visas requests for student visas slightly earlier, and it won't affect non-lucrative visas as much. But they do expect there to be an avalanche of student visas. So if you're looking at coming to Spain, you know, next September and applied in June, maybe you just want to seriously look at your plans and think, do I really want to be looking for an appointment around the July, August time at the consulate for non-lucrative visa? There's a chance that you might not get one. The winter period is very, very slow for them with students, so they said it's the best time. So, you know, between October all the way up to May, and then well, September all the way up to May. And but yeah, that's one point I really wanted to make out. And also, you have to be flexible. You have to be flexible. People were putting manufacturing deadlines by selling their houses and stuff, and so I know some people have to sell the house to fund the non-lucrative visa. I'll come on to that in a minute as well, with another thing you have to be aware of. But you know, you're going to need somewhere else to stay. You need somewhere to stay, literally one foot in each country. It's hard. I know it's hard to do, but you can't nail down an appointment to an exact week. You know, you've got to give yourself a month's flexibility when they're going to give it to you. And as for when the visas are awarded, you can't nail that down either. You know, that could be anything from 4 days to 90 days. I mean, at the moment, here in London, they're coming out in a couple of weeks. We've had some even quicker. Manchester and Edinburgh, you know, Edinburgh are now sitting on visas for 11 weeks, whereas Manchester knocked them out in 4 days yesterday. 4 days, we had a client come back. So flexibility is key, and understanding what time of year you want to come to Spain is absolutely key as well, and understanding that in summer, as in Spain, you know, things here in the consulate actually get very, very, very busy for them with student visas, and you might be struggling to get an appointment, certainly here in London. The other point is obviously the time of year reflects your tax status. So definitely take advice. Once you've decided when you're going to apply, you've got your flexibility in place to say, okay, well, we want to apply more or less around this date, we want to move more or less around this date, but we're flexible with it. Then you want to speak to a tax advisor and say, okay, then what is our position? If you have to sell a house, maybe there's capital gains implications, maybe your pensions. You know, we're not tax advisors, so we're just telling you that's the best thing you can do once you've decided to get your days sorted out. So yeah. So anyway, I needed to get that off my chest because I thought it was a valid point to make on the video, and no doubt I will do a couple more now. Still ideas in my head.